Hey guys, and welcome back to Life is Feudal. Right, the end of last episode I was talking about the movie The Interview, right? It's been all over the news lately because it is a movie that was made about two reporters. I don't know if we've talked about it before, so I'm going to give the quick premise again. It was a movie that was made about two reporters. It was a comedy movie about two reporters in America who got a interview with Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. The CIA, the American Secret Service, for any of you who live under rocks, got in contact with these reporters and basically asked them to assassinate Kim Jong-un. So the reason it's like that all this has come out lately is because Sony has had all their databases and shit hacked. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Not like that's
that's
ever
not shocking.
happened before.
All right.
And
At this point, it's like more of a countdown to see when it's going to happen again.
I still get fucking emails from Sony saying change your password, please. Well, I don't
I'm
know.
glad I never invested anything of Sony ever.
I never gave them like my credit card details and all that aren't on my account, so I don't really care about going through the hassle of like changing my password.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, the interview. So basically, after this was hacked, everyone's pointing at North Korea for hacking Sony. Why? Like, unless they got wind that this was coming out already, which they probably did. They probably knew this was coming out. But yeah, like North Korea don't really seem like the type of people who'll be hacking. But regardless, like someone hacked, it came out about this, and basically North Korea denied that they hacked it. And although it's still circulating, I don't know if they've confirmed or denied it yet because I didn't really read like any of the latest articles. But yeah, basically North Korea said we want you to not release this movie because it's inciting terrorism. And like, there's many things that I disagree with about North Korea, but this is not one of them. Like, I completely agreed with this. That should not be a movie that is published.
Because it incites terrorism, really? You agree with that?
No, not because it incites terrorism, but because of one simple fact that see if the boot was on the other foot. See if it was North Korea that was publishing a movie, or even more topical. Say it was like Iraq, right? And I'm using Iraq for a specific reason here because it has been liberated and democracy has been brought to them. Right, say it was Iraq that was like making a movie that had the exact same premise except they were going to interview Obama and they were going to murder Obama. How do you think the Americans would react?
They would have a shit fit about it, but that's
Exactly.
America though. Like, what are you expecting to happen?
Yeah, exactly. And this is North Korea we're talking about.
Alright, fair enough. I respect the right that they can ask for it to happen. I 100% doubt it ever will happen.
Right. So, there was a recent update saying that the movie has been cancelled and it's not being published.
Oh wow, really?
Yep, and everyone's saying, like, the reason I used Iraq for this, everyone was saying, like, okay, I say everyone. Right, this was Facebook comments here.
Whoa.
Was saying, like, North Korea 1, democracy 0. I thought, in all fairness, that's not democracy, that's not freedom of speech, that's just a very tasteless movie. I mean, see if they'd have done, something like the exact same premise, like not called it North Korea and not called it Kim Jong-un, but made it very fucking obvious who it was, I wouldn't have had an issue with it.
Okay, so where does that put you on a standpoint about Team America then?
Team America was cartoons. I was actually, as I was saying this, I was thinking about Team America, but I don't like Team America. I wasn't a big fan of Team America.
It was incredibly stupid.
What was the other thing? Something about sucking the guy's dick.
Oh, I don't even know. It's been forever since I've seen it.
I know. I only ever watched it once. I remember Matt Damon though, because that was funny.
Yeah. I think the one thing that everybody remembers from Team America is fucking America, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Team America did do something very similar. I think because it was not a cartoon, but it was fucking puppets, that it dehumanizes it all. And I don't know if that says something about me, says something about culture in general, but it did. Even though it was pretty much the exact same thing. But, like, I don't know, maybe because it was completely ridiculous as well on top of that. Whereas the premise of this is something that obviously probably never happened. There's never going to be an American fucking member of the press that interviews Kim Jong-un. It's just not going to fucking happen. But the fact that it's something that could possibly happen, like someone infiltrating the North Korean regime and murdering their leader, I don't know. Just sat wrong with me. It seems stupid. It seems stupid to be insulting someone who's got his finger over a big red button, basically.
Oh. Well, he claims he has.
Yeah, well, I suppose. I mean, how technologically advanced can a fucking dictatorship really get to? Not so much just a dictatorship.
He did invent the cheeseburger.
I suppose Andy did get it's not Kim Jong Un. It was his father, wasn't it? That got 30 holes in one on an 18 hole course. Oh god, man,
He's so skilled. The ball went in, jumped out, jumped back in, jumped out, jumped back in. This was all one hole, mate. He gave up after he got 30 on the one hole.
I'm gonna get assassinated now, aren't I? That's it. GG. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Oh, did they not invent the internet as well? I should look up some of the crazy stuff that fucking North Korea's invented.
Wait a minute. Fucking talk about inventing the internet. The fucking Americans invented the internet, apparently. Yeah, nothing to do with those British guys that actually invented the internet or whatever. Oh god. What about the telephone as well? Oh no. Let's not do that. My comment section is going to be salty as fuck. There are many things.
Your comment section is going to be saltier than a sperm bank.
Saltier than McDonald's fries, am I right?
Well, they come unsalted, so.
What I want to know, and perhaps maybe there's some internet whiz kids out there who can exercise their Google food.
Bill Gates' PIN number.
Yes. No.
Bank details.
I've heard from a previous McDonald's employee that they use really well looked after cows for their meat. And you've probably heard this conversation because she won't go to KFC because they're unhappy chickens, but she'll go to McDonald's because apparently they're happy cows.
Huh.
Right? But I really don't believe this, and I am super fucking skeptical that McDonald's don't battery farm their cows and stuff like that.
Well,
really fucking skeptical.
When you think about it, you get so much fucking beef off of cows. One cow must make a fuck ton of burgers.
Yeah.
And cows are relatively happy at best of times.
Yeah,
and
especially when you
McDonald's
just
are so fucking massive. I mean, it wouldn't be such a stretch of the imagination. I mean, if they were battery farming their cows, I imagine it would come out somewhere or other at some point.
Yeah, but see, what I want to think is it just one of these things that they tell their employees to make their employees feel better about working for McDonald's? Or is it legitimately a thing that happens? I don't know. I don't know, I'm just super skeptical about any big corporation, like most people should be.
Yeah. Although not too skeptical, because they will eventually rule the world. You want to get your ass kissing in nice and early.
As all sci-fi movies have taught us.
Yeah. Well, not all, just 90%.
Most of them, yeah. I don't think it's wrong. I reckon that big corporations have definitely. Well, look at the United States. It's pretty much owned by big corporations.
Yeah, you have to imagine at the point where corporations are making more money than the countries they're based in, how long it's going to take before they just, decide to buy their own private military or just basically buy out the military.
Yeah.
I mean, at that
Fucking
point,
PMC.
it's basically done. It's gonna happen
It's
eventually.
basically Tekken. It's just
Yeah,
basically
it
Tekken.
is. It's
That's it.
basically Tekken. It's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah.
Going to
Could do. Yeah.
feel
See,
that
what-
or a government somewhere is gonna realize it's gonna happen. Is gonna like slap so many fucking trade sanctions down.
Be the Russians.
Oh,
Also, fucking the Putin has completely shit a brick because the ruble has dropped massively because of all the trade sanctions that got walloped on him for the Ukraine thing, which is fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
I was wondering about that because I was thinking the other night, man, you don't hear any more news about Crimea or anything, and it's because it's not newsworthy anymore. When Crimea was getting invaded, it was all anybody could talk about because it was all on the news constantly. More gunfights happening in Crimea, more fights, more militants, more people wounded and killed and whatnot. As soon as the trade sanctions slapped down, that got like 1 day's worth of news reporting about the trade sanctions, and then as soon as like the military action stopped happening, it just dropped off the face of the news. It was like a footnote from then on, and then nobody ever heard from it again, unless
Yeah.
you actually went out your way to figure out what happened. And that's because nobody gives a shit about trade sanctions. Nobody gives a shit unless people are getting shot.
But yeah, that's why I tend to use, like, I've got the BBC News app on my phone, and I like it because it's got a load of different like categories, so they always have to give me a piece of news from at least my category that I want.
One piece of news before they start telling you about which celeb is being caught on fucking weight pills or whatever the crap it is these days.
Oh fuck, tell me about it, man. Fucking
Oh, this
ridiculous.
celebrity's pregnant now. Oh,
I know, it's
like
like,
what
what's the
they
point?
do?
What is the fucking point, man?
I do wish, as a society, we could stop putting like athletes. I can kind of understand.
Athletes have got skill, man. Athletes have
Movie
got determination.
stars. I just don't.
I was
don't
actually
get why we think of them as higher forms of the typical human being. Athletes I get because they are literally at the peak of physical fitness because they have to be.
yeah.
Movie stars are just they're good at pretending.
I know, right?
That's
They can-
like when you think of it, that's all they pretend and they memorize stuff on occasion.
I'm almost positive that we've had a conversation about this in a Life is Feudal episode.
Oh, most likely our conversations are secular.
Do you watch The Apprentice?
On occasion.
I can't remember where I was going with I had a topic for The Apprentice that I was going to mention and that I tried to like footnote in my mind, but gone. The fuck was it? I don't know, man. Oh, let's just go with something generic. The people on The Apprentice are retarded, and I've got no idea how they managed to make any decent businesses. There we go. There's my generic Apprentice thing because I can't remember exactly what I was going to talk about The Apprentice.
Oh.
But yeah.
So I'm on one of those fucking how we were slagging off those websites earlier on. The ones
Yes.
where it's like just a list of like 10. It's like 10 disappointing video games that lie to get your money, blah blah blah. Which I'm actually cycling through right now. I'm not gonna mention the website's name. But alright, yeah, so on a tangent from a tangent, going to a tangent.
It's tangential.
You remember War Z, that horrendous
Yes.
fucking rip-off game that basically got removed from Steam for fucking fraud.
Yeah.
You know why you stopped hearing stuff about it?
Why?
They changed their name to
To?
Infestation Survivor Stories. That's why you don't hear it getting
Oh my
slagged off
god, is
anymore.
that what that is?
Yeah. That's why you hear that getting slagged off instead of War Z.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
no idea, and I probably should have.
Yeah. I remember that because like it was the same thing as like the whole fucking Crimea thing. It's just like as soon as the War Z name got dropped, people just stopped giving a shit, and it's because the name got changed.
There is a new game coming out on Steam. Actually, going to talk about this in the next episode. Alright guys, as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been Steejo, you've been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.